Alright, now we can do a little more work on our pendant light fixture. In the previous sessions we've created a profile, spun it around, and created this shape for a bell globe for our pendant, and I've just turned it in by selecting it. I turned it into a group of geometry so we can proceed without complicating it. So just like we did to create this bell in the first place, I'm just going to do a drawing plane out of here, going vertical and going the red direction, going back down in the blue direction, going over in the red direction to hold the shift key to get lined up with that point, and then click this. So that gives us a drawing plane that intersects this globe. And just going to pick up this arc. Actually, let's do this. We'll just pick a spot there and here and draw an arc. I'm going to redo that. Let's draw an arc. There we go. Got a little arc, and then we'll just offset that arc to give our fitter a little bit of thickness. Let's back up. And this whole process is just something that, depending on the design you're after, you can there's any number of ways you can create your light fixture, put any kind of design element you're after. Just trying to zoom in here. Get a little arc there. Now we'll select those two and offset them. I'm just going to give it a 1/16 of an inch. Put a little radius down here at the bottom. And then, just using the back view button up there. This model's kind of jumping around. I'm going to go down here and turn off the textures. We'll just let that be a white texture. Maybe that'll keep this from being so jumpy. Like I explained earlier, I've got a 40 faceted circle to follow around, and it just makes a lot of geometry, and it seems to be fitting a little bit in this instance. Alright, moving on here. Just going to draw a line up from here to create the rest of this little fitter for our light fixture. Just give it a little bit of shape here. Kind of zoom in and pick a point on that. I'll just create a little bump out for this. Erase that little line in there. Get rid of a couple of other things to create a fitter for our light. You can see this process is, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along to come up with shapes. It all depends on what you're after, what kind of light fixture you want, what level of design is important. So now we have a profile. I'm going to go into this group and select this little circle with its center point. So we can go like this and select and make sure we get everything. I'm going to copy that and then step out of the group edit mode and paste a little circle right back on top of where we got from. Now, by using the arrow key, I just want to raise this up, straight up, for our fitter. I think maybe that's the proper term for the little piece on top of the light fixture. I'm calling it a fitter. Maybe it's something else. Anyways, so there we have, now we have a path for this. Click the Follow Me tool on our profile. Give the software a second to catch up. And it will create our fitter. And you can see how that works. If we turn the textures back on, we've got a fitter and our light fixture. And something that happened here, you can see that there's actually a space in this fitter. Right now I'm going to hide this globe so that simplify the geometry a little bit there. But because I put such a small radius in, I left a gap in the geometry. I'll see if I pass it in a little bit. When you're working with these small radiuses, it can do that. What I want to do is, I'd like to try to blend those two surfaces. I guess I'm just going to have to back out and modify a profile. Let's go back a few more steps. This tight little radius didn't want to copy through, so let's see if we can widen that out a little bit and get the program to fill it in for us. All right, I think we still have everything. I'm going to hide this globe for now. Get rid of our excess geometry here. Get down to where we can make our fitter. Let's see if it works any better this time. There's ways around that. You can get that little gap to fill in. It takes a lot of steps. You got to really want to do it. So if it's important enough, you can go through the steps to get that worked out. But in the meantime, there we have it. SketchUp's auto-saving for me. And there's our fitter. So I'm just going to select this whole thing, right-click again, and go Smooth Soften Edges. And I wanted that, and I want those two lines to go away, and they just seem to be stuck in there. Okay, well, they're not going to go away on their own, so we're just going to have to, let me see if I can get those to hide. Nope, it's not going to work. Okay, well, that's the fitter we have, and this kind of gets into the gray areas of what's possible in SketchUp and what isn't. I'm going to go to the hidden geometry and select this group and unhide it. Turn off the hidden geometry. You can see how now we've got our lens and the fitter for the top. So I'll stop the video there, and I'll finish it up by expanding the fitter, coloring it, and making the stem to hold this whole light fixture to the ceiling.